Obviously, we've stayed within the ranges that we talked about. Fairly nice. Swipe. Hi friends, swipe SXP to the USD. Let's take a look at the chart and see if there's anything interesting to be learned about it. We could be on the cusp of a big move towards the top side. That is going to be super interesting and I'm looking forward to telling you about it. But we could also be just about to drop down the way a whole bunch, and I've got a good reason for that as well. Join me for all that and more just after these intro clips. Hey, well, I say clip, but it's just the one, and I'm going to talk through it anyway, telling you a like and a subscribe goes a long way. I really do appreciate it. Did you notice below me a minute ago there's a chat box full of text? That's because this is filmed during a live episode. Be sure to join me for one of them. So what do you want first, the good news or the bad news? The good news or the bad news? Let's go for the bad news first. Bad news first, right? Cool. Okay, so we've got this upward trend. We had a crossover here between the 50 simple moving average and the 200. It didn't come to anything. We moved towards the top side. Very, very good. Came in, retested it, and the 200. Very good. Came in, retested it, and the 200. Very good. Came in, retested the 50 yet again today. In fact, on this one, is it very good anymore or not? And that's where the bad news comes into play. If I bring up the tool that I perhaps like using the very least of all on TradingView and try and draw in one of these head and shoulders things, it never works out perfectly for me first time. As you can see there, it hasn't worked out perfectly again. It's frustrating, you know. There's the right side, there's the left side. We could be looking at head and shoulders over here. What your measured move would be off the back of this one would be extensive, taking you all the way down towards $1.10. Did you like the way that snapped out there like a bouquet of flowers out of magician's wrist? That's because I got it on the logarithmic chart. Now, if that fails and we move towards the top side, very good. You don't take measured moves like that, but we could be looking up towards $5 and something. Is there another reason for that? You might be asking right now. Well, yes, there is. Let's just cover this fully, completely. First off, there is the potential for it. It's written across the charts there in terms and the oscillators. It's also here in terms of the DMI. We're seeing that we're coming right in for a cross here, negative cross between these two. Well, there's still enough strength of trend left there to give you that movement. That's all in the cards, happening between the three most key inflection points in the market overall there at 352, 264 and down towards 189. So that's your bad news for you. If that were to happen, what would it look like? Let's just see here as well. Previous instance of the DMI indicator working for us perfectly. Yeah, again, bang, perfect with that inflection in the background. What about this one here? Was it perfect? Oh wow, bang, yes it was indeed. Now if we see something like this happen where the strength of trend drops off lows as we're coming into towards this area, that would be ideal, but we'll not get too ahead of ourselves. The stochastics point towards the downside. None of that looking very, very good. Okay, horrible. Right, wash our hands of that and move on. Let's see, have we got any of that good news for us? And we actually do. There's a good bullish trend here for us. I'll just leave that drawn on there so you can be reminded of it, I suppose, from time to time throughout the episode. What we can see as well in the past, you know, shoulder, head, shoulder potential, neckline respected, key inflection point moved on up. Here we have it, neckline respected. So my best buy price for this is actually coming in still at 260, although that's where it was previously as well. Anyway, for a bullish move, 260, that's where you should have been getting in at. This is where you still potentially could get in at, managing your risk accordingly. Very much aware of that 118 target if we do come down to it. 180 as well, a big one on the way. But what we can see here is if we actually look between our previous high and low inflection point that we've had subsequently, you know, come up here and tested 100% retrace down the way as our shoulder came in, put in ahead, down the way up towards the 100% retrace area again. Fantastic, right where the right shoulder is, showing you that with the failure of this pattern, if we move on past this zone towards the top side, we could be coming in for that 1.272, 1414, 1618 target. And what they are is, of course, 434, 467, and $5.59. So that takes you into the $5 area. If we want to then, you know, kind of think about this in terms of could we get to the mid 550s? Yeah, there's routes towards that zone, but that's your good news for you. You know, we're right there looking at it 66% of the time or something along those lines, 64, 60, something like that. Look up the pattern site Bulkowski's textbook. He'll tell you head and shoulders fail anyway. This, of course, is a symptom of being in an upward trend, and that would be where we'd be taking you to. That's their swipe technical analysis, all the good, all the bad, and then, of course, targets, price action, targets towards the top side and the downside, and your risk management zones. Everything, a nice, neat little package, and I didn't even have to waste your time with too much chat about funny different stuff in the charts. Wow, what a fantastic, neat packaged episode. That's what I'm saying. A like goes a long way. If you did like anything, get any value from it, I would really appreciate it. Of course, subscribe for more of these episodes. Share them with your friends. A friend of yours is very much a friend of mine. Massively appreciate folk that do that. Patreon.com/RockyOutcrop if you want to pay it forward. Yada, yada, yada. But anyway, smash to black.